Hey everyone, this is Tish Griffin and I am back with you today to share with you any information that we've had regarding finances, regarding debt, whatever your situation may be. That's what this show is about. We want to bring that information to you, those questions that you're scared to ask, give you those answers, and then hopefully be a resource to you. So reach out to Family Credit. Family Credit has counselors on standby at 800-994-3328. Or you can log on to the website at familycredit.org and you can chat live with a counselor, ask any questions that you may have regarding your finances, regarding budgeting, debts, whatever you need. Also, you can go online to Family Credit's website and there are some helpful resource guides there for you. That's right, you can get personal finance made easy. You can get my spending plan. You can download that and start working on your budget and getting things under control. So I want you to do that. Use it as a resource. Now, today we've got a wide range of things to talk about, but one of the things that I've been getting a lot of last week, there are people that are scared, people hearing with all of the changes that happen that are going on right now. We want to take a step back and fully understand what those things are. So right now, the big talk has been with tariffs. And so with that being said, we want to go ahead and kind of like just figure out what are tariffs and how does it relate to me? Because we hear those words being thrown around and we see that things are happening, but really, what does it mean to the everyday consumer? What does it mean to you, to your paychecks, to those of us that are struggling, that are finding it hard to make ends meet, or those that are just getting by? So how does that affect things for you? Now, I do want you to use this video again as a resource, as education, to get that information and to understand it. Just before we started the show, there was a big announcement that the government is holding off for maybe about 90 days on those tariffs, which means that it can pop back up down the line. But before that even happens, we want you to be prepared and get everything in order. That's why it's still important to fully understand all of this. And what happens when you're thinking about tariffs and how it relates to you is we don't really see everything that's going on, but we hear about it. And with that being said, a tariff really is just a tax that's placed on the goods that are coming in and out of our country. So the goods that are coming in means that they cost us more to actually get those items from other countries. And you may say, well, we still have to pay for them. What does that mean? What it means to you is that there's more money coming out of your budget to pay for things that we've probably, tried to find the cheapest way to make things right, to move throughout our month, to make sure we have the right things. Plus, we want to make sure that we're able to buy clothes. We want to buy what we need, our necessities. So it's like, how does that affect us? So I'm going to give you this scenario. This situation, just a basic iPhone. Right now, we feel like the iPhones, when they first came out, they're really nice to have, didn't really cost that much, but then we thought they cost a lot of money, right? But think about it. Nowadays, when you go get a new phone, you might come across an iPhone and maybe that ranges from about $800 to $1,300, right? We make our payment plans, we make our arrangements on those. They may tell us, hey, we'll give you the phone for free for 12 months, or we'll give you the phone for 6 months. You only pay this amount. Sometimes you pay $40 for maybe 24 months, whatever that case may be. Now, keep that in mind. We're looking at $800 and we're thinking that's a lot of money, right? But with the tariffs imposed, what that means is that it's going to cost more money to get the parts to actually make the phones and to get the full complete phones into the United States. So as to where we were paying that $800 to $1,300, now we're looking at paying $1,300 for a basic model to $3,000 for the one with all the bells and whistles. So think about that. And that wasn't just applying to things like technology or to your iPhone. We're talking about everything that we may buy at a cheaper discounted rate, meaning clothes will cost more. It will cost more for groceries, everything. And these are things that we've talked about repeatedly, but we haven't really put them in context of how they affect us. I can tell you all day long, yes, we need to work on your budget. Make sure you have everything outlined on your budget, but you really do need to understand how this affects you, how much these things will now cost. And so that's what we want to do our homework on. The first thing, with tariffs, they can be both good and bad because it affects our economy in a couple of different ways. The first thing is that, of course, we've got the increased goods, increased costs, meaning that some of the simple things that we buy, let's say you have a growing child, and because you don't want to all the time put them in the most expensive clothes, you may go to Walmart, Target, some of the smaller stores, and possibly get an outfit ranging from, $8 to $12 for that child to play in, right? And we know that kids grow up all the time, so we think it's okay. We'll just get this little outfit, let them play in, and they can, tear that one up, and then we'll get the more expensive ones for when they're out, when they want to look nicer for another day. But we still try and do what we can to bargain shop to save money. Well, now those things will cost maybe twice as much as they have before. So we want to be able to budget that. Again, reach out to Family Credit. Get you your personal spending plan, your personal finance made easy, my spending plan, and get that information to help set up your budget and keep things in line. So of course, everything is going to cost more for those goods and for services that are coming in. Another thing that we need to think about is that now with the tariffs, foreign items may be less attractive because now a lot of countries are no longer concerned with the quality, how things shape up for us, what we may use them for. Whatever we get is what we get. So a lot of times we may think that, I'll just stick with what I see here because I know how it's made. I'm used to this quality, but we'll see that declines. So do keep your eye and your attention on that, making sure that whatever you get, it stays within your budget, and you got to readjust some things. Things happen. With a lot of change, everything sometimes can get out of order for just a little bit. Change causes chaos, and we're seeing that in the market more and more every single day. With the onset of the tariffs, we saw people watching their retirement accounts plummet, watching stocks fall. The market has been crazy, but the thing about that is that we know that we're in it for the long haul. So I do want to say, be cautious, pay attention, but don't let it scare you. And that's the important thing to keep in mind. We're playing for the long haul. We want to make sure that we stay calm. You might think you're losing a lot of money, and right now it may appear that, but just stay calm, stay the course. Talk with your financial advisor, reach out to a credit counselor, get the help that you need, get the information, the reassurances that you need, and make sure that you're making the right decisions for yourself. Okay? A lot of times, again, that chaos comes in. We want to make sure that we're prepared and we know, okay, I know with everything that's just happened, I know that the market is going to go down. I know that my balances are going to go down. But I'm watching my accounts, and now let's see how well or how long it will take for me to recover from this, and let me stay the course. Sometimes the market will force a sell-off, so you just want to make sure that you are staying in control with what your goals are, and you need to have those goals written down. You want to keep an eye on your accounts and make sure that things are in order, because again, with your investments, your balances may fluctuate when changes happen. Keep that in mind for good and bad. And another thing that happens with the tariffs or the onset of tariffs is that you can either have job creation or job loss. The purpose of all of this has been said to create jobs, to bring jobs back into the United States, to bring jobs to the working class citizens that need them. But on the flip side of that, we also have to think about some of the products that we have here. They do require foreign products or foreign services in order to get those going. So in that instance, when we have that happening, sometimes people can lose their jobs as well. So we want to just keep in mind, no matter what happens, keep your eye on your budget, keep everything together, write down your budget, know what it is that you are putting out. And now it might be a good time to just take a step back. And let's say I'm going to discipline myself to stop spending so much. I'm going to discipline myself to stay within my budget. I'm going to discipline myself to save more, and look at different types of ways for you to save, to budget, to invest that work exactly for your budget. That is what we want to keep in mind. That's what we want you to keep in mind while we're going through all of this. Now, on Family Credit's website, again, some very great guides and resources there for you. There is a guide on Family Credit's website that you can call and get a copy of, 100 Small Ways to Save Big. In this guide, you can go through and look at some different ways for you to save money each and every single month while you try and get things together. Because the one thing that you want to do is not panic through all of this, and make sure that try and save more. A lot of times when we panic, a lot of times when we think things are happening, sometimes the first thing that you do is you run out, you go shopping, you think you have to buy up everything, and it causes you to spend more than you actually intended. So you do want to make sure that you are keeping yourself together, keeping your mind together, and keeping that mindset with your money to say, okay, I'm not going to go crazy. I'm going to hold things in. I'm going to start to save. Let's save more. Let's not spend. Instead of me going out to eat every single day or going out for lunch during the week at work, I'm going to start bringing my lunch. I'm going to look at, staying in the house more. Let's look at different ways that we can save and make sure that we are keeping our budget together and keeping our finances together. One thing that we also want to make sure that we can afford is to be able to pay our necessities and to pay our bills. We struggle with this sometimes because a lot of times we're not keeping in mind what's important, especially when we start to panic. Now, case in point, you may see that because of this, one store goes on sale, or there are stores that are going out of business, and we think that, hey, maybe we should jump in and go see what we can grab from this store. What are these items that we need that we can get at a discounted rate? A lot of times we do unnecessary spending, but we do want to make sure we're staying in our budget, looking at our budget and seeing, hey, what is it that I can actually cut out? What can I do to make sure that I'm okay through all of this? So let's take a look at our budget. Again, we want to know what we have going out and what we have coming in. But we want to start by keeping our goals in mind. And the first goal with something like this is to make sure that we're staying on top of things. Again, not all goals have to have monetary value. So making sure that you're staying on top of your finances and knowing that, hey, no matter what I do this month, I'm not going to spend any more than $100 extra on anything else that's not a bill, that's not a necessity, anything that I need to make it each and every single month. Now, the first thing that we did there was made sure that that goal was specific and it had a time on it. So I said within the next month, so 30 days, I know that I'm not spending any more than how much? $100. It's measurable. I know that if I cross that $100 mark, I'm cutting myself off. So before I even sit down and do my budget, I've got those goals in mind. What is it that I'm looking to accomplish this month? What's going to keep that extra money? Because again, we don't know what's going to happen. We just want to make sure that we are prepared. So they could come back and say, okay, we're going to cut the tariffs back on and everything goes back. Prices are starting to go up. And what that will do is it will force a recession because the cost of everything is going up. And we want to make sure if that happens, we've got enough money on hand. We want to make sure that we're starting to build up our savings and our finances so that we are not panicked if something does happen. And let's say nothing happens, like, oh, everybody was talking about this, we were all good. Guess what? Now you've got more money that you will have saved. So we do want to start with that budget, seeing where we can cut down on and making sure that we have our necessities taken care of. Right now would be the good time to look at your utility bills. See about getting on those budget plans, knowing how much that your family puts out each and every single month on those bills so that you are able to cover them is key. You want to know that no matter what happens, I know I need to pay $100 on my light bill each and every single month. I know that, so that when I get paid, I can take $50 from check 1, $50 from check 2, and I am okay. So you want to keep those things in mind as you work throughout the week, throughout your budget, and making sure that everything is running great. Again, a great place to start is downloading the My Spending Plan off of Family Credit's website at familycredit.org. You can also chat with the counselor and ask them to send this to you. Yes, they will mail this out to you. If you want a hard copy, you don't want the one that's online, you want to be able to print it out, you can print it out, or you can have them mail you your own individual copy. So that way you can sit down and start going over your budget, going through your finances and making sure that you've got everything under control, because that's what this is all about. We don't want these changes that are coming to actually scare us. Another change that we're seeing, that with the housing market and with the government jobs and everything, people are losing their jobs, people are going on furlough, or things are changing in the industry. We don't know what's going to happen with Fannie Mae and with Freddie Mac, but they're still around. But how does that affect us? We don't know just yet. A lot of the programs that we use have been suspended or put on hold. So if you are looking to buy a home, you want to make sure that you have enough money saved up for that transaction. You want to know how much it's actually going to cost you to get a new home. And you want to know, is now the right time to buy? Again, if you're thinking about buying, really the right time for you to buy a home is when you need it. That's really as simple answer as that. If you know you need to move, be it for your job, or you need to leave this area, go to a different area because things will be better for you, then yes, now is the right time for you to buy. Now people are saying, well, we've been waiting for years and years and years for rates to come back down. They're not going to come down as much as you think. Yes, they have come down. They've come down drastically, but it's not going to go back to the 2 and 3% that we once saw years ago. That's not going to happen right away. So we want to see, hey, is now the right time to buy, and can I afford it? That's the next thing. If you are looking to buy a home, you want to sit down and say, what is the most that I can afford right now to purchase a home? What's my monthly payment going to look like? And you want to be realistic with it. You can't say, I only want to pay $1,000 and then you want a mansion. But you do need to talk to a professional to help you with that. But you want to keep that in mind. What is the amount? Can I afford $2,000? Can I afford $1,500? What can I do, and how much house can I afford, and go from there? I'm putting that out there too, because while all of this is going on, again, costs are increasing. It costs for a home to be built. It costs for the building equipment. It costs for everything that goes into it. So we want to make sure, hey, is now the right time? And can I afford it? These are things that you want to keep in mind, because prices will be going up. Building material will be going up, which means home prices will be going up as well. So is now the right time for you? You may want to consider it. You may want to look into it, but it depends on you and your own individual situation. So if right now is the perfect time for you, or you feeling like, let me do what I need to do, let's jump in, look at everything, do what you need to do as far as buying a home. Make sure you have your ducks in a row. You know what your credit is. Again, we talk about credit all the time. You need to know what your credit is so that you get the best options for you. If you're looking to buy a home, yes, you can buy a home if your score is as low as 580 and sometimes lower. But you will need to put down more, and you may not get the best rate. So if we can get our credit score up a little bit to 600, 620, 640, let's even touch 700, that's where the best options will come in, and you get the lower rates. So if you want a lower rate, that's what we need to do. We need to do our homework on what? Making sure that our finances are together, our budget is together, our credit report is together, and we've got everything lined up. So again, sticking with everything, we know the cost of everything are eventually they will go up. With the tariffs imposed, they started to go up. Now that tariffs are being repelled just a little bit, you want to make sure that those things happen and that everything is in order, that your budget is in order, and that you know what you can afford. Again, keep all of this in mind. If you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out to a counselor, at 800-994-3328 or go online to familycredit.org. You can talk live with a counselor. You can get the help that you need. You can get the advice. You can get the budget guide. You can get personal finance made easy, my spending plan, and get 100 small ways to save big. This is going to really help your budget and help you start saving more, because that should be key right now. With everything all up in the air, we don't know which way to turn or what's going to happen next. The only thing that I can advise you is to, yes, take this seriously. Take your budget seriously. Take your planning seriously, and make sure that you have everything in order. So we do want to keep that in mind. Again, all of this information is just educational information to help you make the right decision based off of you and your life. I don't want you to feel scared, but I do want you to know what this is and how it affects you. So again, we talked about the tariffs that are being imposed, and they may go away, they may not. But in the meantime, it did cause prices to rise, things to fluctuate, and for some people to lose money as far as into their retirement or investments that they may have. But recovery is coming and it's down the line. So keep that in mind. Be it tomorrow, things look better for the stock market, or today, just keep that in mind. It could be a year from now. Once you recover, you'll be better off than where you are right now. So that's what you want to keep in mind. Now, as we look at those things that are happening, another thing that's happening right now is that the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau might be dismantled. It might not be around much longer. And then again, it may. We don't know. But I do want to bring this up and tell you to use it right now, because it's there and they can help. They've done so much to help consumers, because you have rights as a consumer to be protected, to not be taken advantage of, and to make sure that everything is going in your favor. So use the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau. What are they there for? Your protection. Go to consumerfinance.gov. If you are feeling like you're, as a consumer, you're being taken advantage of, you can go there and get great information and get the help that you need. They've seen other people that have been taken advantage of. Like, let's say if you've gone through credit repair. We all know credit repair shouldn't be doing that in the state of Illinois. People have gotten refunds for things like that they've been taken advantage of, but we have to let them know. Also, there's great information there if you are looking to buy your first home, if you're looking to rent an apartment. They've got some great guides on there. If you're dealing with collection agencies, go there. Get the information that you need, because you have rights as a consumer. And a lot of people don't realize, when you're looking at your credit report, there are things on there that you may or may not be able to dispute, and things that will make a difference. But Consumer Finance Protection Bureau is there for a reason. So reach out, go on their website, look at all the helpful guides that they have as well. Then if you need some help, reach out to a counselor at Family Credit at 800-994-3328 just to get the right information for you. Again, that information is available, and it's available for free. Keep in mind, all this information is there for you. Reach over, get 100 small ways to save big, personal finance made easy. Download your free copy or call them. Talk to a counselor live and answer any questions that you may have regarding debt or your finances. So if you've got any other questions, feel free to reach out to 800-994-3328, and hopefully this information was helpful for you. We will be back with more information soon. Take care.